Okay. My name is Monica Bhatia, and I'm the founder of San Diego College of Ayurveda, and we're doing a course on Ayurveda and women's support. And it's women's support, and we'll discuss the cycles of women, starting from when we hit puberty, then our monthly cycle, and then the cycle we go through when we have a child. And then, of course, the whole 18, 19 years till the children grow up. And then, of course, there's the perimenopausal cycle, which people say it takes about 6 or 7 years before the menopause hits. And then you have the actual menopause, and then the post-menopause years. According to Ayurveda, all of this, hitting puberty, then your monthly cycle, then the postpartum, and it's all geared towards one very basic things, which is we were meant to be creators as women. We were meant to be creators and nurture. So the nature has given us periods and menstruation so we can have a child. And then when our body is not ready to have a child anymore, it's not strong enough, then we have menopause. So it's just a cycle, it's not a disease. I always say that, it's not a disease. And there's a lot of alternative therapies. I'm going to go back to menopause for a few seconds. So it says you're perimenopausal 6 or 7 years, but it's different for every woman. Some women can have 10 years also. Some are just 3 years. Some are just like that, 2 years. So everybody is different, right? So I gave you this form. I'll just go through the things that we discussed, because they not only relate to a woman during perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, but also start with Vata. In fact, we were doing Vata before. Vata resides in the colon. And there are 5 subtypes of Vata. Vata is a very vibrating movement energy. So when you think of Vata, think movement. Which is why there's a lot of Vatas are very good. They can be athletes. They're very creative in their mind as well, because their mind can move. It's a moving energy movement. So there's some symptoms that I'll just go through, which are very common when Vata is out of imbalance in a woman, and this will usually manifest when a woman's undergoing her cycle, right? This could be dryness, and this dryness could be dry hair, right? It could be dry skin. So if you have dry hair, dry skin, that is a Vata imbalance. And usually Pitta and Kapha get imbalanced by Vata. That's a thumb rule, because Kapha is earth. Earth cannot move by itself. It needs another force to push it. So usually, you could be a Pitta, but the root cause of your problem could be Vata too. And it's very easily disturbed because it's a movable energy. In fact, Vata is always vibrating in our body. So in Ayurveda, all kind of anxiety issues, if you look under the mental constitution, mostly all kind of anxiety issues except migraine headaches, pretty much, even migraine headaches. So you have anxiety, mood swings, then any kind of disorder related to the nervous system, psychological disorders, they're related to Vata. Can anyone tell me why? Why do you think, anything of imbalance of the mind is usually a Vata imbalance in Ayurveda? Why is that? Even learning disorders in kids, autism, learning disabilities, anxiety, depression, all of this is related to Vata. Why do you think that is?
Because it also governs the nervous system.
Yeah, because Vata also resides in the brain. It's the movement. It's a moving energy. And all the nervous disorders are what? It's movement of thoughts. Because Vata is characterized by dryness. So think there's not enough lubrication. And Vata is characterized by lightness. So Vata women will be light. They won't gain weight easily. I'm talking about a pure Vata woman. And so dry hair, dry skin, even vaginal dryness. And if Vata resides in the colon, if there's not enough lubrication in the colon, what happens? Constipation. Lack of earth element. So all of these are automatically characterized when a woman is in her cycle, whether it's whether it's a 16-year-old girl, it's a 36-year-old woman, or it's a 56 peri postmenopausal. These things are always, obviously when we are hitting menopause, these things are much more pronounced because you're also entering another cycle of age as well. So it's much more pronounced. And of course, hot flashes are common, but all the hot flashes are not created equal. Let's talk about a pregnant woman. Pitta pregnancies, Pitta means fire. Oh, these women are like incubators. They're just so hot. They're just exuding heat all the time. Become red, the skin becomes red. Or Vata women, all the Vata characteristics become, during a pregnancy, what is expanding? Air. There's so much expansion. And earth, because the baby is the earth. So both of them become high. And once the baby's out, then the Vata is still high. There's still so much air. So there's a whole cycle that goes on. In India, what we do in Ayurveda, a woman gets 40 days of body and mind treatment every single day. We don't even give water. We give herbs mixed in water, so the Vata in her body can completely go. Because if the Vata remains in the system after childbirth, what is Vata energy? The chances of postpartum depression and unhealthiness is very, very high. So, oh yes. So, and that can remain in the body for years to come, if that is not taken care of. And usually, in this country, a woman will have a child, and we don't even let a woman, like in India, we won't even let her go out, because you're in this, you have to restore your energy, mentally, physically, spiritually, restore your energy. So we massage her, we give her herbs, we give her nurturing and caring and love, and then she starts exercising after 40 days or so, and so on and so forth. Also, Vata feels very cold. So, Vata is, they're tall, thin, and you can actually, if you look at a Vata woman's wrist, they're usually not big-breasted unless they've had, plastic surgery. I can usually tell a Vata woman's had plastic surgery because entire body, the face, the dryness, and then you see very, very thin wrists and very thin, beautiful hands, beautiful, creative, like hands of a pianist, but brittle nails sometimes, if they're imbalanced. If they're balanced, then it's not so brittle, of course. So also Vata will feel very cold. So you'll always see, if a Vata woman is married to a Pitta man, big problem, because the man is always hot, the woman's always cold. Another thing which is very associated with Vata, when Vata is an imbalance, is forgetfulness. You forget things. So I can be a Kapha. It doesn't matter who I am, but I can have a Vata imbalance, because of whatever reason. This could be exposure to a lot of wind, jet lag, 24 hours of traveling or 30 hours. Crying spells. So, I like to use the word, I'm getting very hormonal, So you have these crying spells. So everybody can have that, but because Vata is movement, they can cry and laugh at the same time. Tension headache. So Vata headaches are even Vatas will have migraine, but their migraines are characterized by what? Coming and going. Vata headaches are usually at the back or on the top of their head or on the back of their head, and they come and go. The headache is not so bad that they can't function. They can actually function even with a headache, but it comes and goes. Then you have joint or muscle ache. So the muscles ache, but they'll tell my waist aches, my thigh aches, ears are ringing, very, very Vata during a Vata cycle. And pretty much for a Vata woman throughout her life, because there's lack of earth, there's lack of water, there's so much air. 1 month they get their periods, another month they don't. It's very, very irregular, right? Also, if a Vata woman is in menopause, heart palpitations, fluctuating blood pressure, insomnia, their insomnia is different because a Vata woman, she has a hot flash.